What's going on? How do people think that they need to be at a hospital with a 103-degree fever?
I approached one of the practices in Manhattan with pediatricians who trained me in residency at Mount Sinai. And I said to one of the guys, who is a pediatric infectious disease specialist, I said, what do you do for all these kids who have high fevers? Because in the emergency room, you have to do these tests, and these tests. And he looked at me and said, Larry, if I did all those tests on all those kids, I would lose half my practice. I said, so what do you do? He said, if you had a kid with 105 fever and was looking at you, talking, babbling, drinking, peeing, sleeping, arousable, alert, interactive, consolable, and then you had a kid who had 100.8 and you couldn't wake up, which fever would you be concerned about? And the answer was 100.8. So I try to teach parents to not treat the number on the thermometer, but to treat the child, just like he taught me 25, 26 years ago, which is the child alert, awake, arousable? So let the child sleep, but give the kid a little, pat every so often, and the kid goes, nah. You know the kid is fine. Is the child interactive, drinking, urinating? Is the child in respiratory distress? What's the child's color? And I list all these things on my website so that parents can follow a checklist. And I get emails and emails from parents who say, if it weren't for your checklist, I wouldn't have made it through. Because it's really about gaining experience that we want to treat the child who has a fever, not the fever. And I have an If Your Child is Sick section where I provide options for treatment of fever and options for cough and why mucus is produced in the body, which it needs to be produced to get rid of wastes, and what to do if your child is sick and has fever, and how to follow a checklist and when to call your doctor. When I first started doing the more alternative and holistic practice, I would tell parents, get undressed, hold your child, and do skin to skin. And the children would get better. Or I would say use essential oils. Use lavender. Lavender on the tops of the ears, the back of the neck, maybe a little bit in the middle of the chest to calm the heart. These are acupuncture points. And the parents would say, wow, my child felt better. And I'd say, oh, I don't know if it's the essential oils or the fact that you just touched your child. You just connected to your child. And more, by going to the medicine chest, you're ignoring your child. I would say that the over-counter medicines that we use are probably as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the ingredients we inject into kids' bodies. And the studies show it. The studies show that acetaminophen is really, really dangerous to the detoxification ability of a child or of an adult. And then parents confuse the word lethargy to listlessness. Most kids when they're sick are listless. They're pokey. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be, are you okay? Is everything all right? Did I get something for you? Do you want something? They don't want that. They want quiet. So they're listless. Lethargy is dangerous. Lethargy is you pick up their arm and you can't get them to even hold tone. You don't want that. You want to avoid that happening. So the idea is to start learning to connect to your kid. Start learning that you have the ability. Follow the checklist. The most important thing is that, well, when kids are sick, the first thing the parents say, my child won't eat. And I go like this, applause, applause. The kid is smart. Because the body needs not to eat, but to hydrate. And hydrate a lot and rest. Turn it down and let it evolve. And keep watching.